Hello once again. I thought I would come back to these beautiful flowers, but I'm not getting tied up with them this time. They really are gorgeous and my favourite sort of colour, vibrant. Yeah. I want to talk a little bit about the subject that I talked around on Tuesday. From a slightly different viewpoint, but the same sort of area. I had a message from several people that gave me the spur to do this. And one gentleman, now that makes me sound very old, doesn't it? One guy, is that better? Said that he was waiting for a diagnosis of ADHD. And it's how other people will look at him as well as how he will feel, knowing, and it's that knowing the difference, why he is as he is. So that's when a label is useful. But there are times when the folk out and around and about can really be hurtful. And I began my teaching career supporting a young man in primary school who was on the autistic spectrum. And I used to take him into the village where I was known, obviously had permission from his parents and the school to do this, to work on socializing him. And it wasn't just a matter of that, but it was socializing the other people. And he had a few little actions that would draw attention to him. I just took them for granted. They were part of him. But I would go into shops and I would stage whisper to him what I wanted. The greengrocer was one of my favourites because I knew the lady there very well. So she would always say hello individually to both of us. And then, what is it you want today? Talking to the child, not to me, which was brilliant. So I would stage whisper, a pound of carrots, and he would go through it. And then I'd give him the money, he would pay, get the change and give it back to me. And then I'd collect the greengroceries on my way home that evening. And that worked well when people knew him. But you could see others sort of looking sideways at him. And that always used to upset me immensely. When I was still doing my teacher training, which I did as a wrinkly, for various reasons of moving around the country too much to be able to do it any earlier, I was working in a lovely little school, and I asked the head if I could work on disability awareness. And he said, yeah, great idea. So one of the girls, I knew her mother was a nurse. So I had a word with her and said, look, do you mind if I sit your daughter in a wheelchair for the day? No explanation given to her or to the others. She said, brilliant, go for it. And I can get you a child's wheelchair. So that she did. And this day came and I sat this young lady in the wheelchair and I said, I just want you to note what other people, what your friends, what people that you don't know very well say to you and how they act with you. And one of her friends was the designated wheelchair pusher. So I said, don't you intervene, just observe. So off they went. And the first problem was that, of course, the wheelchair wouldn't fit underneath the desk. So we had to sort that, and we had a discussion about that. And other things that were a problem throughout the day: access to toilets, access to get outside. And so that was something that they learned. It could be a problem for people who needed the extra support, maybe of crutches as well, but certainly of a wheelchair. And at lunchtime, having had the time out in playtime when she was able to mix with people, I said, right, can we have some feedback before lunchtime, and then you can return to normal? So they said, they challenged me on my use of the word normal, which I was delighted about. I really was. Anyway, they said, well, I know everybody here, but they were directing questions to the girl in the wheelchair via her friend. What's she done? What's the matter with her? So it's a bit like, do you take sugar in your tea syndrome with adults? And she said that felt awful. It felt as if I was not a person any longer. She said, I really felt sad and I felt neglected. And this conversation with this girl has stuck with me over the years. And I hope it was a good learning experience for the whole school. And the head very kindly offered me the assembly time that afternoon, and I was able to talk it through with the whole school, tell them what we'd done and how did they feel, then told them what had been reported back to me and how do you feel now? Oh, but she's still her. Exactly. But you didn't talk to her. Oh. So I just hope, fingers, toes and everything else crossed, that at least that group of children went on through life remembering that lesson. If they didn't remember anything else I taught them, if they remembered that, I feel that I would have done a good job. But it is the same. I very much, if I see somebody in a wheelchair, I go the opposite way. There was a lady being pushed around the supermarket the other day, and she had this amazing multicoloured sweater on. And I just said, I love your sweater, that's brilliant. And she grinned, she said, do you know, it's good to have somebody just see me and not try and navigate round the wheelchair. I said, well, it suits your colouring, it's lovely. And little things like that, they do mean a lot. They really do. And I know that some of our subscribers are affected with how people treat them as a family. If they have somebody who is on the spectrum or has a problem, has a physical problem, they do get treated differently. And in this day and age, when we've got such amazing examples of the wheelchair athletes who can go to such amazing lengths in their wheelchair, and people who have prosthetic legs and arms going for athletics in all sorts of ways. I wonder if this is getting any sort of message through, or if the message stops when seeing them participate finishes. would be interesting to find out. Thank you so much for joining me. It really means a lot. And have a think about how you respond to somebody that you might see as different. And it doesn't stop there. It goes on with colour, it goes on with age. There's a lot of us who are flipping discriminatory in many ways. But I hope that you aren't. Take care for now, and I will speak to you soon. Bye for now. Bye.